We're in Hà Giang, Vietnam. This is episode 1. What is blockchain? What is blockchain?
So blockchain and crypto, fundamentally, like, they're two different things.
Right.
So blockchain can exist without crypto, but crypto cannot exist without blockchain.
So blockchain came first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can think of it like blockchain's like the internet.
Yeah.
It's like the foundational infrastructure
Yeah.
that all the other apps use. Social media.
So Bitcoin's like a website?
No.
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 So what if blockchain's the internet?
Blockchain's the internet.
What's crypto?
Crypto is like social media. It's like
Right.
email, all the other applications. They run on top of the internet,
Yeah.
and they use the internet.
Okay.
Crypto uses blockchain
Right.
and cannot exist without blockchain.
Yeah.
But blockchain is fundamentally a different thing from crypto,
Okay.
and that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah. So that guy everyone, all your mates keep banging on about, Satoshi.
Yeah.
He made blockchain or crypto.
He invented Bitcoin, which is a
So the blockchain was already there before him.
yeah.
Oh
Blockchain
right.
is just
Okay.
a technology.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So first of all, like, what is a block?
Yeah. What is a block?
So
What does blockchain actually mean?
it's basically like, it is a chain of blocks. I know that doesn't make any sense, but we'll start off with like
Yeah. What is a block then? And then
So,
what is the chain?
Yeah. So a block is basically a group of data,
Yeah.
and that data can be anything. It can be shipping information, it can be internet,
Yeah.
and it can be like energy.
Right.
But a crypto blockchain, that block is filled up with transactions.
Okay.
And when I say a transaction, I mean I send you a tenner, you send me a tenner. That's a
And that's on
transaction.
that's a block.
That's a
Well, that-
transaction.
So that's the right
Yeah.
on the blockchain. Then.
Well, we'll get to that. So the block, it gets filled up with transactions like me sending you tenner,
Yeah.
and we call that a ledger because a crypto blockchain is it's inherently financial.
Okay.
So just like in a traditional business, you had an accountancy book. It's called a ledger, and you record financial transactions, money coming in,
Yeah.
money coming out.
So blockchain's just like a place to store data.
A block, yeah.
All right. Got you.
Yeah. So once this block, it has only a finite amount of information that it can
Okay.
contain, and so once the block is full, you
make a new block.
to record new transactions, you have to create new blocks.
And how do you do that?
Well, we'll get to that. But
Right.
basically, once the block is full, you
Yeah.
have to upload it onto the network,
Okay.
and the network is
And you would do that, or that just happens?
so people run the network.
Okay.
The network's essentially thousands of computers around the world, all communicating with each other,
Yeah.
and they basically, once a block's full, you upload it to the network, and everyone agrees that, like, yeah, that's right.
Okay.
And this is called mining. I don't know if you've heard of Bitcoin mining before.
Bitcoin mining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the way mining works is you have something called a hash,
Right.
and a hash, or a hashing function, I should say. And a hashing function essentially is you put something in, an input. For example, you could put Pete in,
Yeah.
and on the other side it outputs a string of zeros and ones, which
Yeah.
is binary, right?
Right.
So you put in Pete, and out comes the other side, a series
Zero,
of
zero,
256 zeros and ones.
Okay.
So Bitcoin uses something called SHA-256, right?
Right.
And
And what is SHA?
so SHA stands for Secure Hashing Algorithm,
Okay.
and the 256 refers to the number of zeros and ones that it outputs.
So hashing is putting a set of data into
A
binary.
hashing function.
Yeah.
It's basically, it's putting something into a function and it outputs something radically different.
Okay.
Now, computers today are like clever, so they can turn that binary,
Back
those
into-
256 zeros and ones, into letters and numbers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got you.
So you could put in something as short as Pete, and it could give you Silas out the other side,
Yeah.
and you could put the entire dictionary in,
Yeah.
and it could still give you Silas.
Right.
It always
But
contains.
then, right, so if you put the dictionary in and then you got Silas,
Yeah.
could you get the dictionary back from Silas or not?
No, so that's a good point,
Right.
because this hashing
So you write the
function-
whole dictionary at the end, you're like, oh, make it Silas.
Oh, well, you don't know what's going to come out the other side, basically.
Okay.
So the hashing function is a one-way system.
Yeah.
So if Silas comes out, you would not be able to tell that you inputted Pete.
Yeah.
The only way, so if you wanted to find out what you have to put into this thing to get out Silas, the only way you do it is by guessing millions and billions of times.
Is that why it's like hard to hack and stuff?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So Bitcoin uses something called proof of work,
Yep.
and it's proof of work because once you get out this output, or you're looking for this output, once you find the sort of input that leads to that output,
Yeah.
you know you've had to done a lot of work, because the only way you can actually know that it matches is by guessing.
And that's what mining is,
Yeah.
guessing.
And because once you figure out what this valid hash is at the end, this output,
Yeah.
all you have to do is take that input that someone's found that matches
Yeah.
and put it back in, and it will give you that same one every single time.
Right, got
So
you.
let's say,
So it's like finding like the key to a cipher.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like if I said, right, you need to find the input to give you Silas.
Yeah.
You guessed millions and millions of times. You came up with Pete.
Yeah.
Should have been your first guess.
Right.
And then every time that you put Pete in, it will output Silas.
Okay.
So everyone else in the network can see that the right
You
one is Pete.
Okay.
It's another analogy is
And in Bitcoin, if you guess one,
yeah,
then you earn Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So what-
Exactly.
So that's good for Bitcoin. Why?
It's an incentive for people to mine, because otherwise, what's the point in playing the game?
But
I'll explain it with an analogy. Imagine you have 6 dice, right?
yep.
And you're trying to roll 6 ones in a row.
Yeah.
Very hard to do.
Yep.
Well, probability says it's hard to do.
Yeah.
So once you get 6 ones,
Yeah.
it's easy to check because everyone can see that you've rolled it,
Yeah.
and everyone knows that you've had to basically do a lot of work
Yeah.
to get there.
Spend
So you
time
have
to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's why it's called proof of work,
Okay.
because it takes a long time, a lot of effort, and it's easy to check.
Yep.
So that number that you put in, to get the output, the input to get the output,
Yeah.
that's called the nonce. No, I'm not joking.
Right.
So basically, you've got to get this number.
So if you find one, everyone's going, oh, he's got a nonce.
Yeah.
He's got a nonce. All right.
So the nonce is the number that you change and get loads of times,
Right.
and the output that you're looking for is the valid hash.
Okay.
So basically, these miners, they're taking the block,
Yep.
they're looking for this valid hash, and they're guessing a different nonce millions and billions of times
Right.
until they get it right. Once they get it right, they earn a reward
Yeah.
in Bitcoin.
But once they've mined it,
Yeah.
anyone can put data on that block.
So
Or
the
just
block's
them?
already filled by then.
So once they've mined it, it's filled.
Once it's filled, once they mined it and they find the nonce that matches the
Yeah.
valid hash, then it's uploaded and added to the last block that was created.
Yeah.
And a new block's created every 10 minutes. So
Okay.
this process of trying to find a lucky number
Yeah.
happens over and over again, every 10 minutes. And every time a block's mined, it's added in the chain of blocks.
Yeah.
So you
But
had
then-
the original block and you got one every 10 minutes since the
Yeah.
creation of Bitcoin.
Right, I get that. But so if once you make the block,
Yeah,
it's already filled up,
yeah.
then how does anyone else store data on the block?
Well, that one's full,
Yeah.
but by the time that one's finished, the next one's already started filling up transactions.
So is there ever a situation where you're trying to pay someone through crypto and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, wait 10 minutes, the block's full.
So you can always submit a transaction.
But it doesn't go until the next
You've
one.
got, sometimes you've got to wait maybe 3 blocks or something, or I'm not sure exactly, but
Yeah.
you've got to wait a certain amount of time, because the more blocks that have passed since your one was included in a transaction,
Yeah.
the more secure that transaction becomes.
So it's just harder to find.
No, not harder to find. It's harder to change, because you've
Okay.
got this string of blocks. Every block after your one that's got the transaction, it becomes more and more secure. Because if you say I sent you £10
Yeah.
an hour ago,
Yeah.
If you wanted to go back and change that transaction, not only would you have to do the work, the original person.
So you'd have to remine the block.
You'd have to remine that block and every single block that follows.
Right, got you.
So the longer it gets, the more secure it gets, and
That's
it's really
cool.
hard to change, like almost impossible.
So that's what makes
proof of
crypto. That's
Secure.
what makes crypto so secure.
Yeah.
Why is it better than like other methods of keeping records?
So first of all, it's decentralized, and that's a bit of a buzzword in
Decentralized,
crypto. But because you've got all these computers around the world running the program, the network, then
there's no like one person who can mess it up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So no one company, country, individual is like liable
In
to
charge.
change it, and realistically they can't change it either.
So has anyone ever hacked the blockchain or not?
No,
Mate, that's sick.
because you'd need to have such insane computing power. It's virtually impossible.
Right.
Yeah. So it's decentralized because it's all around the world. No one entity can change it. That also makes it secure.
Yep.
Because the processing power or the computational power needed is just like outrageous. And like I'd say the last key benefit of it is not only is it secure, it's cheap and it's efficient. If you take money out of a bank today, you'll get it instantly, but in the back end of the bank, it takes maybe 3-4 days to settle.
Right, yeah.
For them to like
Sort it
out on their books, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, not only is that a hassle because they got to pay someone to do it, but it's also like inefficient, it takes ages.
Right.
So, if you did it on blockchain,
It's instant.
even if you didn't use Bitcoin, if you just recorded it on a blockchain, like Bitcoins,
Yeah.
it would settle in 10 minutes
Yeah.
and it would be secure.
And no one else could change it after.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
So it's almost like a no-brainer.
Right, so everyone
So it's
should
good
be
technology.
Yeah. But even if people aren't like using crypto,
Yeah.
like companies should be using blockchain.
Yeah. And companies already do.
Right.
If you're, like I said earlier, if you're a shipping company,
Yeah.
or there's quite a few companies now that say you're trying to do fair trade coffee, for example,
Yeah.
instead of stamping it with the fair trade, you could tag those coffee beans at every step of their journey
Yeah.
and records it on the blockchain, so it proves
Yeah.
that batch has travelled all these way.
And then what was I gonna say? Yeah, last thing, right? So with Bitcoin,
Yeah.
you get given Bitcoin for mining the block.
Yeah.
Is Bitcoin like the only one who can do that?
So
Or are there other coins that have that as well?
the explanation that I've used in Bitcoin, while that is a blockchain, like all the different cryptos, well, a lot of them use different variations.
So there's
of
not just one blockchain, or there's one main blockchain.
Bitcoin's the biggest one in
Right.
terms of market value.
So all coins have their own chain,
A lot of them, yeah,
right?
and
they use like the same code.
they use similar code. The
Right.
idea is fundamentally
yeah.
the same, but there's many variations and like individual details that are changed.
So if a crypto company wants to make their own chain,
Yeah.
can they like choose how hard it is to mine it or not?
I'm not exactly sure on that question, to be honest. You can have, for example, Solana.
Yeah.
Its blockchain is a lot quicker and a lot faster and a lot cheaper,
Yeah,
but it does have
but less secure.
yeah,
But it's still secure.
it's still secure.
Yeah, but less.
And the more people that use it,
The more secure it is.
it becomes.
Okay.
It's all about
So pretty much everyone should get into crypto.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the moral of the story.
Right. I think that's a good way to end it. Gosh.